Hello, hello, and good evening. Short countdown today, but welcome back. It's another episode of Take Me Down a Rabbit Hole. We're on episode 53. And as you know it, we got a lot to discuss. A lot to discuss. I know, Edison, I'm glad that you're okay. I'm glad that you caught this one. I actually missed last week. It's raining babies where I am. It seems like everybody and their mama is pregnant, which is a good thing. We need children to be born into the world, especially with a lot of the mindsets that are going on these days with people not wanting kids and um, just wanting to cut off the population. So it's just good to hear that people are still doing that. So I wanted to hop on, of course, and say hello, but a lot of interesting things obviously have gone on in the past couple weeks, and oh my goodness, where do we start? Where do we start? Yes, I would agree. It's always a good celebration, absolutely. Always good to see and then be healthy and all that good stuff. Um, so I'm gonna start with the discussion of a very interesting video that I saw. And I saw it on, actually, I don't even remember where I initially saw it at, but I noticed that only a few outlets had picked it up. And so I actually wanted to show you one of the videos. Um, Someone did a reaction on it, and I kind of want to play it because it's on their channel. I'll give them the love that they deserve because I did find it there. But it's very interesting that a lot of celebrities have been talking about things and we just never knew. We never knew that they had said anything. Hey, Freddie B. Um, Good to see you. And one of those people is a guy by the name of Prodigy. You might know him. He was from the group Mob Deep. I'm actually going to do a truth before dying on him because if you know, you know, Prodigy was dropping a lot of gems that we really should have been listening to when he was alive. And then, he was in songs and he was dropping hints about it. And apparently he was even tweeting about this stuff. So I'm actually gonna again play this video. I'm gonna share it with you. It's on a channel by the name of Wax Unfiltered. I'm not really familiar with the channel. I actually just ran across it trying to, find this source. And so again, um, let's go. Hello, hello. Good to see you guys. Okay, so let me share this and we'll talk about it. So first things first, this is Mob Deep's tweet. If you guys can see me and hear me, it says, I told y'all MFs, they doing sex rituals on kids, shaking my head. Dumbass people need to wake the F up. Okay, so I'm gonna play this video and we'll get into it. That's crazy. Okay, so listen, I think that's you got the gist of it. Okay, you got the gist of it. Um, so for oh no sound. Oh my goodness. Y'all couldn't hear that? Oh my goodness. Um, okay, so I can't believe y'all didn't hear that. Okay, so this guy said that he is a Nigerian police officer, and that's why he had to cover his face up because obviously, they'll come after them. But that they had known about Jeffrey Epstein's operation since 2002. He had been over there procuring children in Africa, and that some of the celebrities over there included Jay-Z and Beyonce, who he said also had participated in taking out these children, and you know what I mean, and even skinning them and using their skin as clothing. This is what this guy just said. And that when he said that they had enough information to bring them in for questioning, and every time that they would attempt to do that, then they would get a call from the US higher ups in the embassy to pretty much stop what they were doing, or else billions of dollars would be taken from their country overnight, is pretty much what he said. And this tweet that you saw on the screen, that was from Prodigy of Mob Deep. He tweeted that in 2014, y'all. 2014, June 20th of 2014 is when he tweeted that. And he said, I told y'all MFs that they had been using these children for sex trafficking. Now, of course, you know me, I had to do some research. So I went to Prodigy's X account, or, formerly known as Twitter. It's still up. And I scrolled as far as I could. Now, unfortunately, his tweets only go up to September 15th of 2015. Okay. So apparently, I don't know who did it, but all the tweets from before then have been deleted. But as you can see, um, I'll put it back on the screen, there was a link that he shared. Okay, so he had shared this link. I don't know if it's when I go off the screen that you guys can't hear me, but if you can see that. Okay. So rt.com /news, all that good stuff. Okay. So I put that into the web browser, and this is what I found. Okay, I put as much as I could. So UN warns Britain over child voodoo rituals, pedophile sex tourist. Okay, hundreds of children are being kidnapped in Africa and brought to the UK for voodoo rituals, a UN watchdog said, also voicing alarm about the number of British pedophiles who prey on children abroad. The United Nations Committee on Rights of the Children, CRC, urged Britain to do more to stop this brutal form of people trafficking. They were concerned about hundreds of children being abducted from their families in Africa and trafficked in the UK. And yeah, so pretty much. Now, if you know, you know, I have already brought this to y'all's attention about how corrupt the UK is in all this. Okay, I created a whole video about human hunting parties, and you know that the British royal family are one of the main people who are in on it. They have these great big old estates with lots of land and lots of forest. And they take children out there, even young babies. And oh, they're so special because guess what they do to the babies? They give them a head start because they can't walk. They can only crawl. So they give them a head start before they start hunting them. And this Nigerian officer said that these people have names of celebrities that they cannot release because the higher ups in the United States or the embassy have told them not to. Goodness gracious. And if you know Prodigy, he again, I gotta do a truth before dying on him because he was dropping a lot of information. But at first they claimed that it was his sickle cell that took him out. And then they claimed that he had choked to death. I don't know what they claim he choked on. I don't know. That's the same person that supposedly choked on an egg and passed away, but that was him. And this is not to say that, you know, obviously sickle cell is a very devastating disease to the Black population. And I know that everybody's journey with the disease is not the same. But I kind of think about T-Boz from TLC. And, you know, she's been living her best life for a while. I don't know how, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it's just suspicious that, you know, he dropped this music, he was dropping the lyrics, you know, Illuminati got my mind, soul, and my body, and, you know, telling about the industry, and then he comes up dead, supposedly having choked on an egg. It's just very, very interesting. You said what label is he signed to? Let me look. Because I don't know. Yeah, you can definitely follow the trail. Mobb Deep. He was a part of, let's see. Quite a few labels. Oh, BMG, Jive, Interscope. You know how they always have a long line of record labels that are all but BMG is a part of Sony. But yeah, but he ended up dying in 2017. After making, he had I'm trying to think of what one of his last albums was. He had put out, well, let me look at it. Oh, it was called Hegelian Dialectic 2, the Book of Haroni. And then he also had one title like the Book of Revelation or whatnot. So he was on it. I might have to listen to that. He wasn't somebody that I listened to like that. But I might have to check it out, for the research when I put his video together, because I have a feeling he was saying some heavy stuff. Number of likes on the video is iconic, is ironic. It probably had like 666. Let's see here. Okay, sound now. Okay, goodness. Economic black, exactly. And so, and that's exactly what I was thinking about, because I'm like, okay, yeah, billions of dollars of funding, and I get it because it's $1 billion, but at what price? For your people to be trafficked, for your children to be assaulted, and I'm trying to use words that won't get this video taken down, but taken up out of here, getting skinned and all that stuff, is $1 billion worth it? I mean, I understand, I like, in my mind, but at the same time, I'm like, man, y'all are innovative people. It's a lot of y'all can come together. All money ain't good money. It just doesn't seem okay. Maybe because I'm trying to share, I'm gonna have to figure out how I can share stuff so that I can talk and have y'all see the videos at the same time. But yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's worth it. And maybe because it's not their children, that are being taken. Maybe they have an agreement to where their children are safe, but I don't know. I don't think I would. I know I'm not. I don't think. I know I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that kids are getting snatched up all around me because, I need $1 billion to run my country. Just not even. He said, that's right. They're trying to condition us to things like the Purge movies. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that that's something that they're going to try to implement in the future. I don't know why, but that's, how they ask those questions on memes, like what are some of the movies that you think are, something that the government's putting out, or, something that's going to really come to fruition. That's definitely one of them. That's definitely one. I mean, because lightweight, it's like that now. They might not outright say that this stuff is okay, but the way that these judges are so lenient on a lot of these crimes and a lot of the murders that are going on. I mean, I'm seeing some of these judges are giving murderers like 120 days. I saw one judge give this murderer like community service, and the dad got mad and threw a chair. I mean, not that the chair, I wish it would have hit her, but it didn't. But yeah, it's like we have the people that are in the judges' seats are definitely down with it. They definitely know what's going on. And a lot of them are high-level Satanists themselves and are really into it. So it's just really crazy. You said basically taking advantage of the local population and humiliation also. Yeah. Because they know that the devil needs blood, and they're willing to sacrifice their people for it. It's really disgusting to even think about. He said, hey y'all, I'm late. I'll be watching this replay tomorrow. I'm busy right now. Okay, sounds good. See ya. like the Devil's Advocate movie. Yeah. Because a lot of these people think that they're going to be rewarded in hell, you know? They've been told that it's going to be this big party, and it's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing. I need to find that there was a whistleblower by the name of Max. I think it was Spiralman or something like that. I have to find it. I thought I had it clipped when I did the elites are drinking, achrome video. But I guess I didn't include it, but he spoke a lot obviously about this, and how they had so much blood that they accumulated that they had it stored in this cave under the ground. They had it stored in the walls. Spears, thank you. Oh gosh, that's why I love y'all, because y'all y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Exactly. Yes. Max Spears. Yeah. So he was talking about this black blood that they had stored in the walls. And it was just a weird thing. But of course, these elites, what's really sad about it is that they listen to the fears a lot of these celebrities who end up speaking out and things like that. And of course, they arrange it to where you die the same way. And so he was sitting there talking about black blood in the walls. And then, of course, when they killed him, guess what was coming out of his mouth and his nose? Black blood. So this is just crazy. Daryl Jones, welcome. You said I'm late, but I'll be watching the replay. I love this channel. I really appreciate that. I really, really do. I really do. I didn't know that people were as quirky as I was when I first started the channel, but I really appreciate the love that you guys give. I do. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. Black blood, like exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And then he also spoke about how I think he said something about them having reptile eggs as well. But I got to find him again and watch it. I'll probably try to do like a summary of what he was talking about. He dropped a lot of gems. I think I missed a comment. You said 2002, that's the peak Victoria's Secret Lex Wexner time. And what's so crazy is, see that Les Wexner thing. And I mean, I think I told you a couple weeks ago how people were saying, oh, well, they were pretty much saying that the whole Jay-Z stuff is fabricated. I'm like, how would this person know of the name Les Wexner? That's not a random name that you just know about. You have to actually know who he is and know what he's into to even bring his name up in an indictment like that, and know that he was funding this stuff, and know that he was giving people money to shut these judges' mouths and things like that. Like, Jay-Z is highly protected. And I do not know why they protect him so hard. Maybe because of what he's willing to do. But they protect him so hard. It's amazing how his name is in the mouths of all these whistleblowers and these people who have seen stuff in the industry, and he just walks around, on the football field, the Super Bowl. He's just walking around and smiling, and it just makes me sick. And people think, oh, you're jealous. No, why would I be jealous of something like that? Or they accuse people who think that Jay-Z is evil. They accuse people of that. I'm like, no one has any reason to be jealous of him. We think he buys his awards. There's better rappers than him. It's just amazing. I won't rant on him too much. It is very twisted. What I don't understand is that why does Jay-Z have such a good rep? Yeah, exactly. I think he's willing to get down with whatever they present to him. They said he was getting his knees dirty at Rockefeller. Obviously, he don't have a problem skinning babies and stuff like that. Like, I just think that he is not opposed to anything. But you have to be that into it when you're a high-level sorcerer. That obviously you guys know, because I'm showing you guys these videos. This is what is required of these high-level sorcerers. You're not going to meet someone who is a high priestess in this stuff and they don't have to do this. You're not going to meet them. You said probably a music, I can't even say it, music boule. Yeah, for sure. For sure. The new Beyonce cowboy stuff is definitely artificially inflated. Yeah. She was winning country awards and all kinds of stuff. And people were like, the people that listened to her said it wasn't even that good. So I don't know. And I hate when people say, oh, well, she doesn't report all her numbers. Okay, if that's what you want to go with. But I think those of us who are music listeners and have been around for a long time know that she's not as big as she's made out to be. But she's got good spells. But speaking of good spells, have you seen the clip that's going on around about Erykah Badu? I kind of need some insight because I don't know where this clip comes from. I'm gonna play it. Hopefully you guys can hear the sound. I don't know where it comes from to get the whole context, and I really would love the whole context. So if you know where it comes from, please let me know. But let me show y'all this real quick, and we'll talk about it. Uh-oh. Hold on, let me rewind it. Sorry, that's me. Okay. Still no sound. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see something real quick. Let me see what is the issue. I wonder what is the issue. Oh, you know what? That's why. I think I found it. Sorry, y'all. Okay, I think I found what was going on. Okay, let me share it again.
Not just me by myself. It's, there's a train and that motherfucker on schedule. Yeah, I can't miss it. Imagine that. I've learned a lot when I'm in doubt or when there are people who are around that are dream killers, people who don't understand and doubt you and want to use words that discourage you. We can't let them have that. It's not just me.
Okay, cool. Perfect. All right. So, what does that mean? She said there's a train and that it's on schedule and she can't miss it. And so someone in the comments was referenced, they said that Jimi Hendrix has a song called A Train Is Coming. And I went to the lyrics, of course. I try to see if I can see any correlation to what's going on. I didn't really see it, but maybe it makes sense to you guys. Hold on, maybe you can see it. He references it, right? A train is coming, but to me it didn't really stand out that much. Okay, so it says, well, I wait around the train station, waiting for that train, yeah. Take me home, yeah, from this lonesome place. Well, now a lot of people put me down, a lot of changes. My girl has called me a disgrace. And then he says, dig, the tears burning me, way down in my heart. Well, you know it's bad, little girl. It's too bad, we have to part. So again, I don't think, to me, it didn't really sound like what she was talking about. And she might not be talking about anything. But yeah, people were assuming that she told her future. Exactly. Pretty much saying that kind of, same thing that we talked about with Prince and how he knew the devil was coming to collect. And, a lot of other celebrities have said, okay, listen, I think my time is coming. And so people are assuming that that's what she's doing. Someone else also referenced her in the pink and blue. And they said, if you know, you know. I don't know. So if anybody knows anything about pink and blue together, please enlighten me. Like if she was talking about the mothership, then I would understand where she was going with that, because I know where her belief system lies. But apparently, you said that pink and blue is that PDF stuff. Oh, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about that. You know what? I wasn't even thinking about that. Because I've never heard of her. Again, we know that she's a witch, right? Because she said that she's a witch. We see what she's, the crystals and stuff like that, and the incense and all that. But one thing that I haven't heard about her is her being into that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean she's not, but I've never heard her name in those type of circles. And then also someone brought up the fact that they don't think that she's had a sacrifice. Some will reference, what has happened to like Andre 3000 and the DOC, having been in that accident and messing up his vocal cords as a sacrifice per se, but not a bloody one. And so maybe she's got to give herself. So I'm just giving you what the speculations are. I don't know. Because like I said, I don't know what the whole train thing is coming, where it's coming from. You said, what's her belief system? Yeah, she's a witch. She's a witch. I don't know if she considers herself a black witch or a white witch or a gray witch or anything like that, but she's definitely into that stuff. And she's also pretty much African spirituality. And I'll expound on that here in a little bit, about the whole mothership and things like that. If you've ever heard of Bobby Hemmett, he talks a lot about it, as crazy as he is. Um, but the mothership, I believe that some of them believe that it's driven by like serpent beings, and they're eventually going to come to the planet and, replace us and all that kind of stuff. You said that makes sense, giving herself. The mothership also sounds plausible. Yeah. Yeah. And there's even been videos where she has had you said ain't that the soul train? No, it's a little bit different than the soul train. Like for real, this is a real belief system that some people in the African cultures have. And I talked about it a little bit, very, 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 very briefly in the Agartha video in the Hollow Earth. How they feel like they messed up their planet, and so they're trying to find another planet to inhabit. And so they got these serpent beings that are coming from places like Mars and Saturn and things like that. Yeah. But supposedly she talked about how her witchcraft is different than Beyonce's witchcraft. And if I'm not mistaken, she even said that Beyonce's witchcraft is stronger. I'm looking up this article right now. It says, yeah, crystals, all kinds of stuff like that. She's also to me, I think she's also a spirit cooker. Because remember when she came out with the perfume that smelled like her hoo-ha? I don't even use that word, but I'm trying to be clean for YouTube. But it smelled like her little cookie. And she was selling it. I mean, it sold out too. I don't know why you would want to walk around smelling like another woman's vagina, but apparently they did. But it was supposed to be some type of like a potion number 9 type of thing, a love spell. And so people were getting it so that they can attract people that they feel like they love, but that stuff goes awry all the time. All the time. He said, yeah, I remember that. It sold out. I know. But people, I don't even know what to say about people. I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't even know what type of mindset that is to where you're like, yeah, I'm a it's just baffling to me. But again, Lady Gaga did the same thing. She had a whole perfume. It had like blood and semen and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, why would you put that on your on your person? And what does that even smell like? You know what? I have too many questions. Let me stop. I'm just going to stop right now. Uh, just But anyways, okay. So yeah, maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll find out what that train means. It's probably some type of spiritual enlightenment or something like that. Or again, she's on her way out. I think they said that John Ramirez, the guy that's an ex-Satanist who said that he used to be up late at night talking to Satan, supposedly he has some information about how these people find out that it's their time. So might be a scary little thing to check out. I don't think that's not something that I would want to know. Would y'all want to know that? I just don't think that's something I would want to know. Mm-mm. And I know that they sign contracts to where they're like, okay, well, if I give you these riches and this glory and this what, then you got 30 years. Stuff like that. That has to be on your mind almost every day that you're waking up. Like, okay, every year that passed, okay, I got 29 years. Okay, I got 28 years, 27 years. Just not, it would definitely make for a good video. I'll have to find it. I think he makes a lot of videos, so I'll have to dig through it and see. But we talked about that a long, long time ago about how even Drake and Diddy were talking about it and how they mentioned how all of them have numbers. So they know, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they do. Mm-mm. Yeah, maybe we'll find out. Somebody who's in the know, let us know so that we can know about it. I'm trying to find some articles about, they've got a lot of articles about her being witchy and stuff, but she's not really giving too much information. But witchcraft is on the rise, y'all. It definitely is. It definitely is. So unfortunately, it looks like we are in the middle of, when I first heard about what was going on with Iran and stuff, I was wars and rumors of wars. That's the first thing that I could think of. Wars and rumors of wars. So if y'all know, Trump has said that there will be likely more U.S. deaths because 3 people have died. 3 people from the U.S. have died. Military says there will likely be U.S. deaths as Iran strikes to continue until all goals are achieved. Okay. So that, of course, my little antennas went up like, what are the goals? What is it exactly are we trying to achieve? Okay, so apparently the U.S. objectives with Iran include eliminating its nuclear program, dismantling its ballistic missile capabilities, and reducing its support for terrorist proxies. Additionally, there is a goal to change the Iranian leadership to ensure regional stability and security for the U.S. and its allies. Okay. So going further, it says that they want to prevent Iran from obtaining or developing nuclear weapons. Now, here's the thing. I get it, right? I absolutely get it. But I just think it's wild how they don't want anybody else to have weapons and things like that to protect themselves. But they we I know it's they. I know it's we, right? It's we. It's we. We don't want anybody else to have weapons. We don't want anybody else to be able to defend themselves. Let me carry on. Destroy Iran's ballistic missile capabilities to reduce threats to US and allied forces. They want to neutralize naval forces, right? Target and degrade Iran's naval capabilities to ensure freedom of navigation in regional waters. And they want to aim to alter the current Iranian regime to promote stability and reduce hostility towards the US. So, of course, I was like, why in the heck is Iran hostile towards the US? Okay, right? So, Iran's hostility towards the US stems from a history of US intervention into its politics, particularly the 1953 coup that overthrew its democratically elected leader, Mohammad Mossadegh. I don't know how to pronounce that, y'all. Y'all know I don't pronounce names really well. And the subsequent support for the Shah's autocratic regime. And of course, okay, after all that, of course, it always ends up, where did I find that information at? Pretty much, oh, here it goes. Iran's relationship with other countries, particularly Israel, also contribute to the hostility towards the US. The US support for Israel is often viewed as a direct threat by Iran, leading to increased tensions in the region. So I said all that to say I knew it was going to all come back to Israel, because it always comes back to Israel. This is what this all is about. The US is going to be the one who makes sure that the one world leader comes to the throne. I have no doubt in my mind that they are the ones helping to set this up. Because everybody is, they're scared of the US. They're either scared of the US or they respect the US. Whatever we say, they do. Whatever culture we decide to put out there, everybody decides to follow. We are the leaders. The US is doing its job to dismantle every quote unquote regime that does not agree with Israel. Anybody who says anything against them gets shut down. You get doxxed, you get your funds taken, you're labeled anti-Semitic. It's so much that comes with it. And they're doing a really, really good job. I've even seen it to the point where, I mean, I showed y'all how, places like New York and what's that one place? Is it Minnesota? How they're already blasting like the Muslim call to prayer on the loudspeaker at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Not only that, they're about to make it to where we all have to adhere to Ramadan. Well, they're trying to make it that way. So when Ramadan is happening, they want it to where you have to also practice. They don't want you eating your lunch. They want to make sure that no smells of food are around while they're practicing what they're practicing. They're doing their best to turn this into an Islamic country. I said what I said. They're doing their best to turn this into an Islamic country because they are the military. You know what? They are the military arm of this thing. The Vatican is the religious arm of it. They're going to make sure that all the religious people are bowed down to it. Then again, you got Islam, which is the military arm of it. Because they know that those mofos will go in, they'll start beheading people, they will make you bow down. They know that. And they've been in cahoots for how long? When did that Jesuit, the ex-Jesuit priest, come out and admit that the Vatican had created Islam? They are one and the same. You said, what does Dubai have to do with it? I haven't heard anything about Dubai, but let's take a look. What were the memes saying? Maybe I should ask that. What were the memes saying? It says, I guess we have U.S. assets over there. I think that's what's going on. We have assets over there. Because that's a money. Those areas are money makers for the U.S. It's a lot of tourists and stuff go over there. They got oil over there. They got all kinds of stuff over there. You really believe that they have nukes? Come on, Auntie. No, absolutely not. No, I don't. I don't. This is the same thing they did to us when they said that they were going after, what do they call it? The war on terror. I think it's the same thing. Because what do they have to do? Remember what the word says. When they say peace and safety, then comes sudden destruction. They have to make these false flags. They got to do things like, 9/11 and the Boston bombings and all that kind of stuff, because it's going to make people scared. And what happens when people get scared? Then they run to the government for protection. You run into the same hands of the people that are doing it. Okay, and what we're going to be begging for solutions, and then they are able, from that, they're able to put more things in place. We're going to need more cameras on the street. Then people are scared. We're going to need more surveillance. We gotta bog down on the ID system. That's how all this stuff comes into play. That's the only way that they can get it into play. Because when we're all just living our best life and everybody's happy-go-lucky, we don't feel like we need anything. That's why they create these scenarios. Yeah, so no, absolutely not. No. That's how they were able to get all this stuff into play. Remember when it first happened? When TSA first started bogging down on the airports and you had to strip out your clothes, you got to take your shoes and your socks off just to get on there, all that nonsense. It all happened after 9/11. They continue to do this and they know that it works. They know most people are, again, they're not paying attention. They know a lot of people ain't reading their Bibles. They know a lot of this stuff. And they bank on the ignorance. And not only that, but while they put all this stuff in our face so that we're looking to the left, they're doing stuff over in the right. Y'all got to really pay attention to them WEF forums and them TED Talks and stuff like that, because this is where they put all their information out. These people are not quiet about what they have going on, but they know most people are not paying attention to this stuff. Agenda 2030, they are rolling full steam ahead with this. I showed y'all what they did with Jamaica and how people were speculating that they had sent those hurricanes that way. They know how to do this stuff. We know that HARP and all that exist. They know that if they see the storms in a certain kind of way, that they know they can switch course. And remember, so listen, I talked about this on the Patreon. They even, man, there's so much going on. They even pull out like policies, like life insurance policies and stuff, like, so if something were to get damaged in a certain kind of way or a certain amount of damage, then their country would get a certain amount of money. They know how to work the system. And the Jamaican president wasn't even quiet about this either. He was like, no, we're going forward. Like, this is how we're going to do it. And the Jamaican people just, why they're getting sold, the rugs getting sold out from under them. And that's no knock to them. Because you're thinking, yeah, okay, yeah, my president loves us, he's going to take care of us. And when he's really in bed with the enemy. And I don't know what he gets out of the deal. Again, I guess he think he's going to be partying with Satan too. I don't know. You said that Minnesota daycare stuff is honestly inconceivable. A lot of stuff is. Yeah, a lot of stuff is. Shabazz 5 out of 88. Yeah, this stuff is crazy. This stuff it definitely is inconceivable. But when you look around and see what they're doing, you know that people aren't making this stuff up. You know that they're not making it up. Basically, people in the UK moved to Dubai for tax breaks and living luxuriously, but the strike is scaring people, and now they want to come back. And what's so crazy is that they probably, man, UK is so corrupt. They were even to the point where they were taking down people's ring cameras and stuff. Like, you weren't allowed to have, they're not allowed to have, okay, so the government can have, systems where they're surveilling you. But if you want to have something like that protecting your home or, you're not allowed to have those things. They make up the stupidest laws in some of these countries, like in Australia and the UK and stuff like that. You'd be surprised what they're not allowed to do. And these people want to get up out of there. They want to leave these places, but shoot, where do you go? Yeah, that's a really good way to have people come back to the UK. Yep. Bomb the place where they're trying to go. Yeah, exactly, y'all. Sorry. My mind running a mile a minute. Yeah, weapons of mass destruction. While his punk behind sat in front of those children in that classroom, fake reading to them with the book upside down. Don't get me started. When they whispered in his ear, the planes hit the towers. He already knew they were about to hit the towers. Oh, and I wished I could find that video, but they get to scrub in the internet. I wanted to find that video where even the I don't know what to call them, the detonation experts, sorry y'all, were saying that looked like a detonation. Or they showed how they had proof that there was trucks there the night before, I guess, quote unquote, setting up, going in, installing the detonators. Come on. But they use entertainment to distract us from what's really going on. Exactly. Because listen, Daryl, while we were talking about this doggone BAFTA, man, what did y'all think about that incident? With this whole BAFTA incident where they brought the guy with Tourette's, or I guess they made a movie. I'm guessing it was about him. Sorry, I don't really know the whole backstory. It was about him. And so he was in the audience. They said he was about 40 rows back. But he's hollering out racial slurs to the Black people on stage. And then come to find out that it wasn't a live taping. It was pre-recorded. And they had cut out where people were talking about free Palestine, but they didn't cut that part out. So at the same time that you are humiliating Black people on stage at your award show, unbeknownst to the American people, y'all getting ready to start a war. And not that we could have done anything about it, but that's what it is. Yeah, that's what they do. Entertainment is a form of programming. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Bread and circus at 7 p.m., my friend. Yep. Yep. You said what they get out of it is money and more power of the people. Yeah, because people want to feel, they want to feel like they're on top. They want to be running things. But, you can't take that money with you. And they're going to find out what it's worth. They're going to find out what it's worth at the end of this life. The joke is that when they land, the HMRC will cut them off, the UK IRS equivalent. Yeah. So it's a mess out here. He said, I believe that was by design. Yeah, it sure looks like it. It definitely looks like it. You said, I also believe the BAFTA Awards was a humiliation ritual. I was thinking that too. I mean, I don't know if either of them have anything, going on, but Yeah, I don't know if any of those two have anything going on to where they need to bring attention to those two, but definitely to because I mean it's definitely going to give sympathy for the Tourette syndrome community, and people are going to want to know more about what it is, and they're probably going to go see the movie, and it's going to make them a lot of money, and it's going to go into the pockets of the least. I can see how that works. But again, at the expense of these black folk. You said, yeah. I also believe the BAFTA Awards was a humiliation ritual as well as a distraction for the upcoming war in Iran. Yeah, right. Because while we worried about this, unfortunately, you know, people are having to go to war. And they said until pretty much their mission is complete. But how will they ever know? Like how will they ever know if they've, gotten all the ballistic missiles or whatever else they said that they're going to do? And it's just amazing how they always end up, bombing schools and stuff like that. People that, hitting people that have absolutely nothing to do with it. It's amazing how, there's always those casualties. But, I'm just say stay prayed up, y'all, as much as you can. As much as you can. So I have some really interesting videos coming. I'm almost done with this 24-hour day video, which is gonna again be for the science buffs out there. I mean, for everybody, obviously, but I think people that are really into science and stuff are gonna like it. So I'm almost done with that. You said, yeah, that first strike is really sad. A girls' school, yeah, it's just a mess. But yeah, no buts. I was gonna say something else though. I guess the reason why they do it that way is because those people are going to then start saying, well, okay, let us do what they ask. They're probably going to start asking their higher ups, like, okay, let's just do what they ask. Our babies are dying, our wives are dying, I don't know. It's just way too sad. I don't know, y'all. Let's see what else. Yeah, so anyway, that's almost done. So you'll see that shortly. Other than that, oh, I might leave off on this one. So, did you see? I mean, it's a lot of celebrities that are actually speaking up right now. The baby, is that what he calls himself? The baby, the rapper. He says that he fell off on purpose. He says that he refused to sell out after seeing other rappers allegedly doing humiliating rituals. And people were bringing up his diaper situation where he, went outside in the diaper and all that kind of stuff. But maybe that was his idea. And then they saw what he was willing to do, and they were asking him to do more, and he was like, oh no. Oh no, no. I feel bad for these people. I feel bad for these people. Another sick place. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Another sick place is Canada. And I'm not trying to talk about Canadian people. I'm not trying to talk about y'all. But Canada has some sick things going on there. They're pretty much the equivalent of the UK as far as this trafficking and all that kind of stuff. You said, I believe it is totally up to you if you want to sell out. Obviously, they still will pressure. Absolutely. And, I'm actually seeing a lot more celebrities who you can tell like they did not sell out. You just know that they didn't. And they're actually giving tips and tricks on how to do it. I don't know. I guess I would just still be worried about even getting into that industry because it seems like some people say no and then they take them out but I think it's that you can never have partaken in the first place. Like you can't even touch it just a little bit. You don't be curious even a smidge. Because once you do and you know what they're about, then you can possibly tell their secrets and they can't have that. So you really just got to be on the outskirts of it all, for real. And having your family with you is also a big thing. Like a lot of these kids, like these child actors that didn't get caught up, a lot of them had their parents, there looking out. But unfortunately, you do have parents of these child actors and singers and stuff like that were willing to sell them out. It's the sickest thing. So for the rappers, at least they're typically from poverty, so the money, fame, lifestyle, etc., is very enticing. Yeah. And that's what I heard. Who is the person that said that? They were like, you'll say no, but then when you're in your room, it's dark, and you just got all you have is your thoughts. You might be hungry, like literally physically hungry, and then all of a sudden, that little proposition started looking real good. And that's again, just like with a lot of these groups, these internet groups. And again, I'm going to talk about the one that's targeting children soon, but they are looking for people who are down on themselves, who are depressed, who are lonely. They're looking for those type of people to prey on. If you are showing any ounce of weakness, they want you. And that's really sad because people go through things, it's not reasonable to, just be happy go lucky all the time. It's really hard. And that's why, again, the word says, you need to be content in everything. When you have it, be content. When you don't have it, be content. Because the enemy is walking around like a roaring lion. He is trying to seek whom he can devour. So I implore you, no matter what y'all are going through, again, I say this probably every live, stay prayed up. Throw your cares to the Lord. Because if not, again, you got these predators waiting. And not only are they trying to entice you to take yourself out of here, they're also luring you places so that they can take you out of here. And some people, unfortunately, don't have time to get their houses in order before that happens. And that's what the devil wants. He wants you to not have your house in order. And when I'm talking about house, I mean your spiritual house in order. He wants you to be teetering and tottering on the line of, well, do I believe or do I not believe? Or is God, does he exist or does he not exist? Or, he wants that from you. And that's why we're working hard to expose this stuff. And hopefully try to give answers so that people can go and look it up for themselves, That's why it's good to study different religions and see, okay, well, what is this saying? What is it talking about? What is it offering? What is the proof of this? Well, it sounds good. Positive vibes. Oh, it sounds good. But what's the end game? You said, Auntie, did you see Jim Carrey recently? He's looking like a real clone. Listen, I just saw it today. And I saw everybody talking about it. He's getting older. I don't know if he's a clone. So here's the thing, right? From what I know, Jim Carrey he's not innocent. And yeah, he may be one of those people that knows about the industry and has, turned and started, exposing them. But I don't think so. I don't think so. But I did see him looking crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I did see him looking crazy, but I just think he's getting old. But then again, you never know, right? You never know. Because they will straight clone these people. They will definitely do it. And who knows? They might have to. I don't know. I think it's in some of their contract. Like some people, I don't think are cloned, but yeah, he's looking real crazy these days. Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know. It's just so hard to know. It's just so hard. He said, keep exposing the truth, expose the works of darkness. Yes, got to. Like what am I trying to say? Words on a page almost don't even do it justice. Like some of us have read, we see the word wickedness, we see the word evil, we heard about the different, ancient cultures and what they get down. But seeing what's going on these days is like, I would have never imagined that that's what wickedness was, or that's what evil was. Because again, you're just reading words on a page. But when you actually see the manifestation of evil, it's unfathomable. I would have never thought that this is what it was. How people can think about even doing remotely what these people have thought about doing and are doing. And the deception that's out there. Just my. And speaking of, and I had brought up Canada because I saw this meme the other day. Goodness gracious. Canada has now decided that children can be euthanized without their parents' consent. They're going after the children, y'all. Bye, Ellison. See you next time. Thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm probably gonna I'll probably end it on this note. But yeah, the draft policy by Toronto's Hospital for Sick Children set out what can be expected if Canada permits euthanasia for children who are deemed by their physician as competent to make medical decisions will also be deemed competent to decide, with or without the consent of their parents, to die by lethal injection. Now that the Canadian government is considering child euthanasia and euthanasia of incompetent persons who requested death in advance directive, the requirement to consent to die has become only an option. Every time a door is open to new reasons for killing, it always leads to another door. Exactly. So I'll leave this here because again, I still gotta do this video for you guys, but I'll try to post as much as I can about it on YouTube, but I don't know if they're going to let me get through with it. But again, they are targeting the most vulnerable. They're targeting the children. They're targeting people that don't know any better. They're targeting people who can't think past their troubles. Yeah, and I'm gonna leave it there. I just need y'all to watch out. That's all. I just need y'all to watch out. Okay. Well, I have an early morning tomorrow, so I'm gonna head out of here. But again, I got lots of videos coming for you. So stay tuned. Again, if you want any video done, please let me know, and I will do my best to look into it and create a video. But I do got a lot of good stuff coming. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining. Thank you to everybody who comments. Thank you to everybody who watches. Thank you to everybody who comments and shares and likes and all that good stuff. Thank you to those who support Patreon. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you. You said, thank you. This is my first live with you. I enjoyed myself. I thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that you enjoyed yourself. Many more to come. And until next time, I will see you guys soon. Okay. Thank you again. Bye for now.